Hello to my beautiful family of light. You know who you are because it's every single one of you, whether you know it or not at this point. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Claudia and I am so happy to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. In the last video that I did, it was called I'm Outta Here. That was the beginning of my how I want to say, I didn't know it at the time, but it is the beginning of my looking back and realizing that children come into this existence via their parents or the stork, whatever you believe, and knowing who they are. So if you didn't get a chance to see that, it's the video just prior to this, and it's called I'm Outta Here. What I want to do today, I am on a mission to help you understand that you are indeed a soul having this experience. And as such, you may not recognize it because the soul is a very soft and gentle, loving, nudging, conscious thing. And we have a tendency to live in a loud, chaotic, boisterous world. So unless you meditate, get out in nature a bit, sit by yourself. I love to fish, and so I love to get those boots on and hike out into the middle of a stream across the rocks, and just that flow of the water, the energy is enough to calm and bring peace and to really allow me to settle into the knowing of who I am. That's what I'm all about. So all of these videos are designed to help you understand that, and within them, the content within them should help you discover who you are in many, many ways, because you're way more than you think you are. So let's go back and look at my journey. My journey is what I quite certain is going to help you understand yours a little better if you can get into the heart of what I'm saying, and that's my job, to help you understand that. In I'm Outta Here, the little 3.5-year-old child runs away, and she doesn't care what's in the way. There's a field and a barnyard with all kinds of animals and critters, and there's a stream and a little bit of forest before she gets to her grandpa's house. And with all the determination of probably I would say a summer's night or a fall night, because she's wearing I think a nightgown. She marched out of the house when something happened. You'll have to go watch it to see, and straight up to her grandpa's, and her grandpa had never seen that before. Okay, what's important about that? When I looked back after I had experienced remembering that, and I don't have a lot of memories, that 3.5-year-old, when she had a realization that what had happened to her was an injustice, that she didn't do anything wrong. She had simply irritated somebody, mom, and that mom then had demanded that she be removed from the area and isolated, really. Once the little girl discovered that, then she tried to run away. Well, later, there was a lot of kids in our family, and later when mom discovered that she was missing, mom herself went probably straight to grandpa's. I'm sure she looked around the house, around the yard a bit, and just probably followed the footsteps. Anyhow, that is not where it stops. The 3.5, and I will tell you straight up, this is in telling that story, and this is going to be real typical of me. When I submitted a manuscript to a friend for evaluation, she said, "Why are you talking in the third person? Didn't this happen to you?" And I, at the time, was caught off guard. And the reason I was caught off guard was because I did not have, until the memories were unlocked, conscious memories of these things that had occurred. And so when I became a regression hypnotherapist and a clinical hypnotherapist, this goes back to 1997, this stuff was unlocked. And when you have a transpersonal session, transpersonal means that your inner guidance, your inner wisdom, your inner self is guiding what's going on. So you attach to a feeling. The feeling leads you to whatever the event is. And then a skilled practitioner will allow that to unfold and help the individual to stay with the feeling so that it can unfold. For those of us who have had traumas, and there are many people on this planet who have had many traumatic events. For me, my whole childhood was one big trauma, and I can laugh about it now, but at the time, you're just caught in the middle of stuff, right? Well, anyhow, what I realized was that I was retelling me looking down at the situation, and that is a third person. That's a higher part of me looking down at the child who is experiencing what they were experiencing, and then moving forward, right? Well, it didn't end there. Anyhow, let's move on. At age 4, just under age 4, a bone tumor cancerous tumor was found on my leg. And long story short, they were able to save the leg. My mother begged and begged, and because they didn't have, during the 50s, 40s and 50s, they were cutting off limbs where cancer was found because they didn't have the treatments they have today. So the surgeon who was able to save that leg was able to save it by shaving the bone down to just fine paper. And needless to say, I was isolated for 4 to 5 months while the bone began to heal and grow back. And what's significant about that is significant because the human body is a repairing machine. That's what it does every night when you go to sleep. It starts mending whatever you've done to it during the day. I could sit and watch. I had a 3rd-degree burn at one point, and 3rd-degree burns do not heal comfortably, but I watched that knitting. It knit itself in a pattern that was just fascinating to watch. Anyhow, they found cancer and were able to save the leg. I was isolated for months, and I was the oldest daughter of, there were 3 older brothers, 1 younger brother. I think by then there was a younger sister by then too. So there were probably 3, 4, 5, 6 of us at that point. There 2 more will come later. So by the age of almost 5, I was running, walking, and doing most of the things that young children are supposed to be able to do. And at right around that time, and this is one event that my mother told me about, because I still have no conscious memory of it. I have no memory of being in the hospital. I have no memory of the things that happened to me between the time of running away and having the cancer and being in the hospital. And those are pretty important events in someone's life. And what you need to know is you do not want to just let those go because the person isn't talking about them. Those now are imprinted at a cellular level deep inside. And when in the first event, 3.5, being forcefully thrown on the bed, and up to that point there had been sexual abuse as well. So those things are buried. They're just buried deep. It's like that little child just said, I'm out of here. I can't deal with this. Well, I'm sure that by 4.5 or 5, because there were 3 older brothers, they were all bigger, and I was the runt of the litter. Well, what my mom tells me is that by 5.5, I was a terror. Now, what child wouldn't be when you're treated with kid gloves, right? And she's always telling the boys, don't touch her, don't touch her. So what happened apparently one day, and was that, I'll tell you the story first and then do my add-ons, but one day, for whatever reason, she closed the door on the room that I was in with 3 of the brothers, and she let them beat the crap out of me. My mom's words. Okay, all right. So, life is just not good at this point for this little child. And as you can well imagine, those things the child thinks by now that they're responsible. They've done something. Now, I knew in the first one I didn't do something wrong. However, you're getting in trouble or disciplined for, upsetting the cart. And in the second one, I suppose I was being a who knows what. So that is the foundation. We'll go back to that 3.5-year-old or any child. The foundational years are from about 2 to 5 or 5.5. And those set the stage for who a child is going to become in their lives. Those are the things that set the pattern and the behavior. So I'm smiling at you now, but back then I guarantee you a big switch occurred, and that's what we're going to talk about in the next video. Thank you for watching. I want to tell you, get your own piece of paper out, follow along with my story, and hopefully it'll trigger something for you. Whether it doesn't matter. Everybody's unique in their own stories. You may have had a wonderful childhood. Because I had no memories, my childhood, I know I made a switch, and I'll tell you about that next time. But jot down the good things that occurred to you and any what you deem significant memories, and send me a couple of notes about that in the comments. Or you can always ask to be a friend on Facebook, and we can do private chats, or you can let me know via my website. All right, we can chat that way too. I have a separate email address there. So anyhow, thank you for joining me. I hope you're enjoying this content and that you will like, subscribe, and share. The more people that we can get to understand that you're way more than you think you are, and we're in the beginning stages of developing how a person, me, moves into becoming the spiritual, integrating more of the spiritual self, the higher self, the soul self, however you want to call it, then life really changes a lot. So thank you for joining me. I just appreciate it so much, and I love you so much. I love you this much, more than that. And my arms go all the way around the world. I love this planet. I love all the people on it. And we are headed for a new earth. We're building a new earth, and the idea is for us to become consciously aware so that we can be part of the creation effort there. Anything more you want to know about me, you'll find down in the description. And I appreciate your coming and joining me here, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, be well, be safe, and be happy, and love, 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 love all those around you. The earth put it out there. You are such a beautiful being, a beam of light. Thank you. Till next time.